Let's look at putting chamfers on this pin and using a leader. So here's this pin. It has the thickness of the head is 1.4. From there to there is 1.4. The overall length is 6.35. From there to there. And I've gotten the diameters in there. 3.5 on the head and 1.9 on the pin. So let's first put chamfers on there. And these are 1/4 inch chamfers at 45-degree angles. Where is the chamfer? Well, you know how you put a fillet radius on a corner to round a thing? See how the fillet has a drop-down arrow next to it? And hiding under the fillet menu is the chamfer command. So we can select chamfer from there. Now we always want to read the directions because AutoCAD is talking to us. And it says select first line. If I just happily go along and say, okay, I'll select a line, and then I'll select the second line, hey, there's no chamfer. Why is that? Because it doesn't know what size to make the chamfer, and it thinks I'm going to have a chamfer of 0. So let me come back, and this time I'll follow the directions. Okay, so select the first line or ... Oh, look, there's distance. That's what I want. So I could type D. Notice D is highlighted. I could type D, or I could just click on that word. And it says, specify the first chamfer distance. I want a chamfer of 1/4 inch, or 0.25. Enter. Specify second chamfer distance. It defaults to making the second chamfer distance the same as the first one. See that? Inside those brackets, it says 0.25 again. If I hit enter, I will get 0.25 again. So that will give me 0.25 in each direction. That'll be a 45-degree chamfer. When I hit enter, I'm still in the chamfer command, and it has remembered those values, and now I can select first line. All right. Select second line. Look at that. I'll hit enter to bring up the command I was just in, which was chamfer. Select first line, select second line. There it is. Enter again. Select first line, select second line. Enter again. Select first line, select second line. And enter to accept. Now, I've got chamfers there. I need to draw the edge that will clearly be visible after that chamfer is cut. So see that vertical line there? Got an edge in each place. Okay, what else? Oh, I think, so I was using just object lines when I laid this thing out, but I should change this line to a center line. So to do that, I'll click on that line, and then I'll just choose center, and it has changed to a center line, but I'm still in my object layer. And now I can, to shorten this up, I will click on this line so that the grips appear, and I'll click on one of the grips again to make it a hot grip, and I'll just stretch it back, click. The grips are still lit up, so now I can come up to this end and click on this end grip again to make it hot, and move it a ways here. Now you could, if you want to be real precise, you could measure and make that distance exactly the same on each end. That would be cool, but I didn't. and this is fine. Now, let's look at putting a leader on here. So we're going to do that on the dimension layer. I'll get my dimension layer current. And we'll also be putting some dimensions on here. Now, before we get too carried away, we should go find out what scale our viewport needs to be. I think our title block comes in with a scale of 1 to 1. Let me open the viewport by double-clicking. Yes, that's a scale of 1 to 1. Well, that's just fine. So, all right, maybe I'll center it up a little bit better and double-click outside the viewport to close it. So now I know that 1 to 1 is my scale. Let me go check my dimension style. I'll click on the Annotate tab and come over to Dimensions and drop down this arrow. And let me modify this dimension style. Fit, the fit scale is already set at 1, so that's good. If I needed to change how many decimal places, I could move over here to the Primary Units tab and click on the Precision and change this to something else, but it's already set at 3 in the title block that I just opened, so good. And 0 is suppressed. Okay, so my dimension is ready to go. I will click the overall length. Now, to do the length, I'm going to click on a corner with my end point and another corner with my end point so that I get a nice little gap in there. And I'll dimension this. Okay. And I'll dimension my diameter. Before I click this down, I need to go down and get the M-text editor going on so that I can put a diameter symbol in there. Here's symbol, here's diameter. I could just type %% if I wanted to. Okay, there's that. Close text editor, there's my diameter. And I need one more diameter dimension over here. And I'll get my M-text editor. I'll type %C. Hello, %C. There are my dimensions. Okay. Now let's see about getting our leader in here. Here is the panel with leaders, and we can drop down our leader style arrow and just make sure everything is cool over here. So I'll modify the leader style. The text height should be 1/8. That's good. The text style should be Arial. That's good. I want the text attached in the middle of the top line on no matter where I attach it. Good. Leader structure. Good. My scale is 1 inch. That horizontal landing is 1/4 of an inch. Good deal. And my arrowhead size is 1/8 of an inch. So everything looks good in my leader style here. Now let me get a leader. Click. I'm going to look for a place that doesn't have too many lines getting in the way. Maybe I will try down here. I'll click right in the middle of that chamfer. And I'll come down here to somewhere. I should not go vertical. I should not go horizontal. I'll go at kind of an angle. And now what do I want to type? 2 times space, what is it? 250. 2 times 250 by capital X 45 degrees, or I could type %d. See that? Close text editor. And there we go. Now, why did I put 2 times? Looky here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 corners. Why is that? Well, if you remember looking at our pin in 3D, you will remember that actually there are only 2 chamfers. They're cut all the way around the round thing. So there's one chamfer cut all the way around the pin, and a second chamfer cut all the way around the head. So there are, in fact, 2 chamfers. And I went 2x space 250 space by space 45 degrees. There's my good-looking drawing. Really didn't take very long. And now I will go over to my title block and I will follow the directions, and I will edit this text and put the correct material in here, and I will put my name and date in here, and I will change the name and the assignment number, and I'll be good to go.